Hey guys! Today, it is time for me to share a trick. How to explore all the oceans of Azeroth, no matter the class. I did a similar video a few months ago, when there was a Warlock only conduit that made you survive in fatigue, but that has been fixed. However, an interesting item that got added in Shadowlands is the Seraph Tenders. This food will give you a buff that restores about 1k of your health every 5 seconds, while out of combat. This food will of course work in fatigue, since fatigue doesn't count as combat. So the goal is to make this food enable us to stay in fatigue without dying, but for that, we need to get our health down to about 2k. Thankfully, by removing all our gear and obtaining rest sickness, we will reach just about 2k. This means, for the 10 minutes the resurrection sickness is on us, we're able to explore how much of the ocean we want, even while staying mounted. Also, you might want to put your gear in the bank, since rest sickness can make it quite costly. I was thinking of new locations to explore, and decided to visit both Kultiras and Zandalar, since those locations are the ones I have explored the least. First, starting Kultiras, I decided to head northeast, towards Eastern Kingdom, to see if there is anything interesting on the horizon. The first thing that surprised me is how far out we are able to get, without running into any invisible wall. In most other continents, you'll hit a wall before even taking fatigue damage. Can you imagine all the underwater secrets that Blizzard might have put at the bottom of the ocean this far out? Could it be similar to the Happy Face that is on the edge of the Broken Isles? After minutes of flying, we can't see any land at all. Now, we are even leaving the Kultiran map. Finally, after another minute of flying strafe, we hit an invisible wall. Sadly, my resurrection sickness is running out, since I started flying way too late. This will lead to me dying. There seems to be nothing of interest under the surface, at least on this location. Having explored both sides of Kultiras, one being in an older video, I decided to go for Zandalar, and this time we're aiming towards Pandaria, in hope of finding anything interesting. One thing that was spooky is a sound I started to hear when traveling too far out in the ocean. It sounded like a sea monster. First, I thought it was just a dinosaur ambience in Zuldazar, but since we aren't there anymore, it might have to be something else. It could perhaps be a similar creature to the Leviathan in Vol'dun. After hearing the same sound once more, but this time louder, I thought it could be an ambience when out in the ocean. I tried to scout for anything interesting, but there was nothing to be seen through the water. Oddly enough, I didn't hear the sound in Kultiras, so it might be Zandalar specific. It was by the time we reached Pandaria that we could find the invisible wall. This time, I decided to dive, and try to get past it. I used Soul Shape, which allowed me to pass the first invisible wall. By this point, my character's camera started to bug out, since I was approaching the depth wall of the ocean. Even if I died as I reached Edge, I got my character in the position so I was able to view the ocean outside the world. This makes for a very epic look. Our next plan is to head north, to see if there is anything interesting at all on the other side. After swimming just a little bit, I noticed an underwater forest, which is quite rare to see in Fatigue. But looking closer, it wasn't inside Fatigue at all. It seems to be connected to a huge area north of Zandalar that is completely free from Fatigue, which can be seen on the WoW tools. I will leave a link in the description. The forest seems completely empty. However, I came across something interesting when diving down at the end of the fatigue-free zone. I thought those rocks looked really similar to a cave system we have seen before. And it appears to be a real underwater cave. The cave is completely free from fatigue, which is amazing. And definitely would make for a great duel area, or secret hideout. After a cave adventure, we're gonna head north, to reach the edge. This wall came surprisingly fast, after exiting the fatigue-free zone. I decided to head to the edge underwater, to have a pretty view of the area. I soon noticed something really weird. It was an outline, far in the distance, at the same level as the bottom of the ocean. After checking the map, it must be something that is also far out in fatigue. I tried to get closer, in hope to find out what it was. But I saw no trace of it. I decided I needed to get more supplies, if I was going to make it. I stacked up on swimming suit, and some water breathing. Then I headed out in the same place as before, and I started to swim straight towards the outline. After 3 minutes, the water changed color. I thought I wouldn't make it, since my rest sickness was running out. But finally, I saw something. It seems to be a massive underwater skeleton, far out in fatigue. It is located at the outer part of the Zandalar world map. Oh, and by the way, if you wonder about this weird looking thing, I tested to fly towards it, but ended up falling for 30 minutes at the edge of the world. So it might be a map bug, or it is too far out to reach. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.